Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Stiltori, and I'm a genealogist and a passionate traveler. Over the last several years, I've been focusing my attention on les filles du roi and trying to get to know each and every one of these amazing women. There are over 700 of them. And today I believe we're doing episode 282. So we've come a long way. We still have a ways to go. But thank you for joining me today as we explore another fille du roi. And before I let you go, I want to make sure that I let you know how to support the channel. Subscribe, like, and notify. All of these helps my logarithms and all of that and helps the channel grow. And I'm really pushing forward for um, for 2,000 subscribers. I'm closing in on 1,900, so hopefully by the year's end I will have made it. So thank you so much to all of you who have been part of this journey with me. And let's keep going and let's explore our episode 282 and get to know this young lady. Now we come to episode 282, Nicole Souillard. She was a viewer request. I do not have her in my file, so let's get to know Nicole a little bit better. Now, Nicole was born in 1641 in a place that no longer exists called Grange-le-Bocage, now Perce-Neige, and it actually merged with a whole bunch of other smaller communes in 1972. Her parents were Michel Souillard and Jeanne Bourdon. She comes to us from a region that we don't often see, Bourgogne-Franche-Comté. And inside of that region, we have the Département of Yonne. And the church that she would presumably have been baptized in is the Church of Saint Etienne, and it hails and has been there since the 12th century. That's what makes looking for these places so amazing when I'm doing the research. Some are very obvious, but some either have merged or they no longer exist, and the French have a tendency to use the same name and just tack on all kinds of little um, after effects. So of the river, of the this, of the that. So you have to be careful when you're researching in France. Again, because this is not my country and I'm in a foreign country trying to figure it all out. It is very, very fascinating to try to determine where things are. And again, the aspect of location, location, location really, really is important. So always make certain that you've got the name right and that you're looking in the right spot. Now, I don't have any information about Nicole and whether or not her parents had passed away. All I know is that on June 18th, 1665, she landed at New France aboard Le Jean-Baptiste de Dieppe. The groom she would select and who would select her, his name Louis Gabory dit le Major, and he was born in 1638 in a commune called Saint-Martin de la Coudre in France. His parents were Mathieu Gabory and Marguerite Pinault. Now this is a very, very small commune of about 185 people, largely agricultural, and it is found in the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region, and inside of that, it is part of the Charente-Maritime section. The largest city, Bordeaux, is about 137 kilometers, about 85 miles away. So it really is kind of a land unto its own. So this is where Louis would have come to us from. On November 16th, 1665, Nicole and Louis were married on the island of Orleans. Regular viewers of the channel know how often we get back to the island of Orleans, the Ile d'Orléans. It is the most exquisite place, and I finally got there in 2023, and it did not disappoint. Some of those pictures that you see up on the screen are taken by me. It was just an amazing experience to stand in the footsteps of my ancestors, and I still didn't see the whole island. So it just goes to show you. Now, it is about 3 miles east of downtown Quebec City. There's a beautiful bridge that you go over. And as you get on there, you just kind of you see the island, and it's just this amazing place. I can only imagine what it was like for the people who lived there. It was at one time known as Grande Sainte Marie Saint Laurent, and finally it was named in Orléans in honor of the Duke of Orléans, who was at the time Henri II, who was the son of King Francis I. And I tell you that only so you know, in case you're looking and doing research and you see these strange names, it was actually Ile d'Orléans as well. And don't forget as well that the island is not one homogeneous island. It's got 6 different townships. So we've got Saint Petronile, Saint Pierre, Saint Famille, which is the first and oldest of the townships, Saint François, Saint Jean, and Saint Laurent. They're actually called parishes because they're each have their own church. So yes, there are actually individual churches right in for each of those different parishes. So absolutely try to understand where your family was from in order to kind of know where to go on the island specifically. Now, in the 1667 census, we find Louis and Nicole are listed, and they have 1 tête de bétail and 4 arpents valaires. So a tête de bétail is like a head of, like a cow, and a 4 arpents valaires is about of land that they own. The family would then settle at La Durante, which is very different. They kind of moved around. So the history of La Durante was a seigneurie established in 1672 by Governor Frontenac to Olivier Morel de La Durante, who was a captain at the Carignan-Souillard Regiment. And this amazing little place, beautiful, it's kind of like a somewhere in time kind of moment. It really hasn't changed that much. It has different little townships like Saint Michel de Bellechasse and different places like that. But essentially, La Durante was a very large seigneurie that ultimately got subdivided over time. But this is where they would have settled. So they were among the pioneers there. They would go on to have 8 children. Louis, we do not know what ended up happening. We know that he was found on the 1681 census. So somehow he made it. He presumably did not marry, and no record of him has been found. We have Anne, who married François Remillard and had 4 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. She then married Pierre Corriveau and would have 6 children, 3 of whom made it to adulthood. Pierre's mother was Fille du Roi Catherine Bureau, who we profiled way back in episode 71. I'll put the link in the notes below in case you want to see it. And then we have Jeanne, who married Isaac Laurent Taureau and had 3 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. Henriette de Françoise would marry Jacques Corriveau and have 3 children, all of whom made it to adulthood, 2 of whom left descendants. And yes, Jacques, his mother was also Catherine Bureau. So we have the second, so basically 2 sisters married 2 brothers. Then we have Joseph, who married Suzanne Huppé and would have 4 children, all of whom made it to adulthood. He would then marry Geneviève Boulet and have 1 child who also made it to adulthood. We have Louise Françoise, who married Etienne Corriveau but did not leave any descendants, and she died at 24. And Etienne was actually the 3rd brother of the Corriveau clan. Marie-Jeanne would marry Antoine Goupé and have 7 children, 6 of whom made it to adulthood, and she would then marry Pierre Arnaud and have 1 more child who also made it to adulthood. And Antoine, their last born, we do not have any other information on. In the 1681 census, we have Louis, we have Nicole, we have Louis, Jean, who is presumably, probably Jeanne, that's what I'm thinking, Henriette, Françoise, and strangely enough, Joseph is not listed. I found that odd. You never know. But we know that Joseph did end up having a family. Now they have trois bêtes à cornes, which are 3 horned animals, and they own 10 arpents valaires, about 8 acres of land. Nicole would pass away at age 66. She and Louis would have been married at a wonderful 41 years, and she would leave us with 78 descendants as of 1729. Louis himself would not live long alone. He died somewhere in the same year at the age of 69. Most amazing things is when you go to Ile d'Orléans and you stand before that monument and you look for your ancestor, and there they are. And here is Louis Gaborin dit le Major with Nicole Souillard. And so there they are, forevermore honored as the pioneers that they were on the island of Orléans. And so ends another story of our Fille du Roi. Nicole was a really special lady. I mean, look at the love story. 41 years they were married, and they built a life on the Ile d'Orléans. And they truly, truly were together and created a life. And obviously, Nicole would have had to endure and suffer through a lot of things, as they all did during that period. But somehow she thrived. So we are so grateful and thankful that she did. And we, of course, bless her memory. Thank you, Nicole. And I also want to say thank you to my patrons, supporters, and subscribers. You really are the wind beneath my wings. And I also want to let you know that if this is something you would like to do, you can go to patreon.com, and for $1 a month or $10 a month or $25, you can become a patron, a supporter of this channel. And I truly appreciate each of you who have done so thus far. So with that being said, I will see you on the next episode. Until then, au revoir.